Is this a safe space? This was like my third time, okay? Let's just on the pod, let's talk a little bit. This was like my first or my third time. The first time I went to this hair braiding salon, it was around September of last year. So September 2023, which is crazy because we're in December 2024, about to be in 2025. But anyway, December 2023, and I got twists. So if you saw, I got twist, super easy style. And when I went in, and I talked about this on my TikTok, when I went in, I wanted the style because I got the style idea from my sister. And she was doing her twist on her own. She bought the hair herself, and she was able to, based off of Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, of course, watching videos and watching people, she bought 2 packs of hair, and she only ended up using 1 pack of hair. Now, I love my sister, but she got a big head. But she used like a whole pack on her hair, and she was fine. So I ended up buying 1 pack of hair. So I did a lot of research. I ended up finding this spot, and I went there, and first impression, I could include the video. I don't remember what I said in that video. This was like a while back. But basically, they were like, this is my first time there. They're like, oh no, like 1 pack of hair. Like, you would have thought these people had never done 2-strand twists with kinky hair in their life. Or they just like, it was really weird because I'm like, it's 2-strand twists. I'm not asking for like boho braids, like these new styles. I'm literally asking for like twisting my hair, but like using kinky hair. Like, this has been around for like decades. Like, if anything, the boho style is newer, right? So I ended up going back and forth with them. I ended up calling my sister and like, show her your hair. My sister was like, I'm confused as to why they're having a hard time trying to comprehend the fact that 1 pack of hair should be enough. And lo and behold, she was able to do it, of course, with 1 pack of hair. Like, she couldn't believe it. So a couple years ago, I basically had some kind of like allergic reaction to, I think, the product that they were using. Now, I love getting my hair braided. I don't get it done as much as I used to before I cut my hair. If I do now, it's like maybe like max 2 to 3 times a year. So I had a like allergic reaction because I feel like, in my opinion, I'm not the only one, and there are other people out there where some braiders, they just use way too much like gel, grease, all that kind of stuff. And I think my scalp just couldn't handle it. And I remember there was a style that I did, and it's actually up, and it's the style where I talked about like underarm like odor, like that video that's on my shorts. That style, it looks cute, but when I tell you my hair, my scalp was on fire. And I'm one of those people now where I'm not afraid to wash my braids. I'm not afraid to wash my hair with the braids in. Like, that's not a problem. So I ended up, washing my hair, hoping that it should be fine. Like, I was just miserable the whole style. So ever since then, when I got that style, which that style with my scalp went on fire, it was probably maybe like 2022, I think. I basically tell them not to put any product in my hair. So I come in, my hair is prepped, stretched, all that kind of stuff, just braid it like, I don't know, we used to do back in the day. So I requested that, and on top of me telling them that, hey, it should be able to work for you to use 1 pack of hair, they were flabbergasted that I was like, don't use any gel, don't use any product. I didn't think that was that big of a problem, because back in my day, I don't mean to sound like this, but they used to be able to do it. They used to braid your hair without all that kind of stuff. Maybe they add a little grease, but it's not that big of a deal. But nowadays, I feel like a lot of like hair braiders, when they're getting started out, in general, they tend to rely heavily on the gel. Like, they slather on like a bunch of product to the point where sometimes with my braids, I mean, I don't have any product in, but I used to like squeeze like right here, and there'll be a lot of extra like residue in my hair. So long story short, I went in this third time. It was the third and last time I went to this hair braiding salon. And I told them, I was like, no hair product. And this was my third time. So the girl that I usually go to, she doesn't really work on, I think, like the day that I went in. I can't remember the day, but I usually would go in on Thursdays, but I went on a Tuesday or Wednesday. And she was used to me. So she knew that, and she would accommodate me, not a problem. The owner this time, when I tell you, and the thing is, like, I speak, Haitian Creole, if you didn't know. And I think that with their French that they speak, they definitely understood what I was saying. And I wasn't saying anything disrespectful, but I was calling my sister, and I was like, they are over here complaining. And the woman, so she started in the back of my head, and the whole time she basically was like complaining about me saying like I don't use any grease, all these different things. And then she was even like, I think, talking badly about the young girl who usually does my hair, and how, she doesn't have it. Because I was like, yeah, the girl never really had any problem You get what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't really have any problem. It's just that simple. Point is, this was my second time getting like knotless bohemian braids, whatever you want to call it, right? With the curly pieces. I'm going to insert the vision that I had in mind, and then I'm going to insert what they did. So I kind of don't even want to take this out because my bun is actually looking decent. But basically the idea was like, it's going to be, I got the color 4 for the braids, and then for the curly pieces, 27 and 30. And I had a little bit of 27 left, and I wanted like little pieces, whatever. Sis wasn't really getting the image. I showed like 5 different images. And when I tell you, like, I wanted more curly pieces. Like, I had the image. Like, I had a folder of like the idea. It's supposed to be like curly pieces at the end. When I tell you she was supposed to include like the curly pieces at the end, my hair, I've had this hair up in this bun the whole time. Because it was supposed to be like the, you know, like the medium size, boho, whatever style, like shoulder length, whatever, giving like, you know, flawless curly pieces. Like, when I tell you, I don't think they're, like, this is what the ends are looking like. What sense does this make? If I have lighter pieces, wouldn't it make sense for the curly pieces to be at the end? So it looks weird because it's supposed to be like a gradient, right? Dark roots, darkness in there, and then like the curly pieces are lighter. So I look kind of crazy. So I've been having this style in. I know there's so many braiding salons in New York that it's not a problem, but I don't really leave reviews. I don't do any of that, but I have never felt so compelled to leave a review, which I have it written in my notes and I totally forgot. And I've had this style in for almost a month. I just don't feel like they're well versed, because even when I did the other style, when I did it like months ago, like during the holidays, I had like the Goldilocks pretty much, like the boho braids. They didn't even like curl the pieces. And that was my first time getting boho braids. Like the braids itself, they didn't even curl the ends. So you had the curly pieces, but then when we looked at my hair, the ends itself were straight chopped. So yeah, I was like, you know what? This is my second time and the last time getting boho braids. Now, if I'm like super desperate, would I go back? I don't know, because they are kind of nice, but it's just one of those things where I feel like, and I have to remember too, I'm like, girl, you are a paying customer. Like, why are you hesitant to like kind of like speak up your mind? I keep forgetting that. And I still tipped. One of my friends, she doesn't be tipping like that. You know, but you know, like I still tipped, you know, because I just was like, I don't know why. I literally was like, now looking back, I'm like, I shouldn't have tipped because I wasn't happy with my service. But then there was a second girl. So the owner was the one who did the back, and the second girl came in and she didn't say anything when she found out. Like, she was just like, all right. But when I tell you, I've had so many curly pieces fall out. Like, I don't think they're like tightening it up. I'm back on it. I don't know, but I just know like that was the first and the last time that I went over there to get my hair like in boho braids. Now, if I'm like desperate, I'm like really needing of something, maybe I'll go. But there are so many braiding salons in New York, in every borough, that like, you know, it's fine. But yeah, I literally have never really had an experience like that before. I was just kind of like, child, it was something. Like, never again. I think worse when you're like going to get a service and then, I don't know. And the thing is, like, I try to be very mindful. I'm like, was that too much to ask for, to say not to use anything? She was definitely like, you know, bothered by it. Like, she was not hiding it at all. Like, she was very frustrated, which I don't think that's really something you show. Personally, I'm like, I just don't think that's something that you really show, but it is what it is. I'm like, y'all, I just want to be able to like get my hair braided without it being a problem. And usually I've never really been one of those people where I'm like, I've never really had stories. That's the thing. I've never really had horror stories when it comes to like hair braiding. But yeah, I feel like now recently, I feel like I'm one of those people where now I have a story to tell. Like, I feel like I constantly have, my sister was like, you better not go back there. I don't plan on going back there. I really don't. Again, if it's like the last place, like if I'm like really desperate maybe, but no, I don't really plan on going at all. Like, I worked in like retail, and I remember they used to say like customers always right, I guess. Oh yeah, speaking of my brain, she was like, do you have your own like gel or whatever? But the thing is, I don't really use gel, so maybe I could have like gotten gel. I'm thinking of maybe just getting my own. But the thing is, they just put too much, and then my scalp is just like not bleeding. My scalp is just like crying out loud. Or I personally also just feel like when you get braids, when I've gotten braids and they don't add a lot of product or just really any, my braids like low-key last longer. That's just been my experience. Like I remember when I got the style, the boho braids, boho knotless braids, back in like the Goldilocks ones, as I like to call them, like the curly, yeah, back in December. I remember it was like almost 2 months, probably 2 months, and I was washing my hair still every week. Like my hair was still fine. Like I really just took it out because I just got bored. But I think in my experience, like my braids have lasted longer when I don't have any product. And some people have also agreed to that. I don't like having a story to tell all the freaking time. Oh, I want to get my hair done. Sometimes I just want to get my hair done and call it a day. Like I don't want to have a story to tell. I hope y'all are doing well. Y'all are staying cool and dry in this heat wherever you are. And I hope you are doing well. You are taking care of yourself the best that you can. Like these sit down videos, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you watched my videos before, you're not subscribed, then feel free to subscribe somewhere right here, I think. See you in the next video. Bye.